Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy.
God sets the lonely in families.
And whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me.
In you the fatherless find compassion.
Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world.
I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Ben.
And we're the Glens. We have a 2-year-old named Benson, who's ornery, but tons of fun. He's really into golf these days. He constantly wants to go play golf.
I don't know, we like to have fun, spend time outside, go to a golf course, just be together.
Hi, I'm Derek.
And I'm April.
And we're the Bryants.
We like to read. We travel. The kids play soccer and do gymnastics, and Timmy plays piano.
Just been involved in the kids' lives. I mean, whatever the kids are doing, that's what we're usually a part of.
I'm Gabe.
And I'm Kayla.
And we're the Ferrises.
We've got 3 daughters and 1 more daughter on the way.
We like to go camping in the mountains, and girls love watching movies and reading books. They love books.
I would say we are just a fun-loving family. We live out on the farm and we love it out there. Adoption really wasn't something that we had thought about or had talked about at all. And one night, it was seemingly random, but of course now we can totally see God's hand in that. We were having a date night, and this idea of adoption just sort of came up. What do you think about adoption? And since it was something that neither one of us had really talked about or thought about, we said, well, let's just pray about it.
We thought it was maybe something that would be in the future.
Yeah.
Not right at this time.
That's it. We didn't talk about it anymore for several months. And then there was one week in there, I can remember very specifically, that this idea of adoption just kind of kept coming back up. I would see it everywhere. I was just sensing it, and it was just like this overwhelming burden came over me for adoption.
And at the same time, the whole week before, I'd been out on the tractor, and at night I'd turn on the radio, and there'd be all these programs, and they'd be talking about adoption. And so at the same time, I'd been feeling, that God had just really been placing that on my heart too. It's pretty cool to see that, just His hand in it very clearly in the same week even. So we came together, and we both had the same thing on our hearts.
It was undeniably Him. We both knew.
After we had suffered 2 miscarriages last year, just through the process of wanting to add to our family, we didn't know how that was going to happen.
Then we had to go and I lost an ovary. So at that point, I kind of thought maybe this is the end to my childbearing altogether. And we just really had to stop and pray about that. And then shortly after, a friend posted some stats about China, women in China, information about the one-child policy, and there was statistics on their 13 million abortions that they have.
I had asked this question. It wasn't me, but it came out of nowhere, and it was just like, what do you think about adopting? And then, that's just kind of where the conversation started. when April started reading off those statistics of China, it kind of really started setting in that you know, they don't value the life of a female, and just the abortions and just all of those numbers. And just through that process, that's how we kind of decided on China.
After we had Benson, we started trying to have another kiddo, and we had quite a few fertility issues.
So we both knew that we wanted to expand our family, and with the issues that we were having, we knew that we started researching and looking into the option of adoption, and it just seemed to be a good fit. Not only could we expand our family, but also love on someone that needed it.
And for me, it was the little things. It seemed like every time I was feeling down about the miscarriages, something about adoption would pop up. It was just
Always out there.
Yeah, it just kind of was always put in my path at the right time. And so we finally stopped fighting that and did what we felt like God was pushing us to do. I think for us, it wasn't always about getting us a baby. We had a baby. I mean, as much as we longed to grow our family, we felt more toward going towards adoption in order to give a baby a family.
And on April 30th, we got our call for a referral.
My baby sister Kai is going to come from China.
The lady calls and says, would you like to review a file? Would I like to look at a file? What does that mean? And she was like, well, you can look at a file. And she said, on your waiting child checklist, you selected premature. And this file is a premature child, and we'd just like to know if you'd like to look at it.
You open it up and you see a picture. And attach that with a name and just all of the history that they have is, you know, it's just like it was supposed to be. So the first thing that April kind of said was, she looks like a little brown baby. So just from there on, it was the beginning of the journey.
So once we felt that God was saying, now is the time that I want you to adopt, then we found our agency, felt a call towards Ethiopia, and we have a love for Africa.
There is something about that continent we just feel God keeps calling us towards, and we just keep feeling it. So the continent of Africa itself has just been on our hearts. When we looked at countries, I mean, Ethiopia was a good fit for us.
We started on our dossier. They're saying right now that once we get that, it'll be another 30 to 36 months before we get our referral.
I mean, that's almost 3 years. We're looking at a 3-year process, which really, I mean, when we first started looking at that, seemed like it was going to take forever. But at that time, we also did not expect that we would be blessed with another little baby coming on the way. It's going to be good. It's going to be about right.
The program that we're doing is called Domestic Cross-Cultural, and basically it works with birth mothers who are having kids that are either biracial or African American that don't necessarily have as big of a pool of applicant parents to choose from. The biggest part of the process was by far the book.
Yes.
It was hard to get down into words in 10 pages and tell somebody what you thought that they needed to know about your family in order to choose you.
And the book actually just went out from the agency. So now it's truly a waiting game. So everything's out of our hands.
Once the social workers decide that the birth moms are ready to choose, they hand them basically a stack of books, and ours will be in that stack. And then from that stack, they choose the family who will raise their baby. And then we'll get a call when the birth mother goes into labor saying that the baby's on its way, and then that's when we'll jump on a plane and go.
Gunnar wanted a little boy. We just tried to paint the picture for him that, you know, God's put him in a special place, and he's got a special role as a big brother. You know, Harper's been pumped that she's walked around saying, I'm a middle child now, you know. I'm the middle child, and then Tinley, she's just ready to help. I mean, she loves babies.
When you tell Tinley that there's 800 babies in one place that all need parents, she wants to know, why can't we have 2 or 3? Or 4 or 5.
Why can't we bring home more?
He loves babies.
He is at an age where he just wants to hold babies and love on babies. Even though he doesn't know what's coming, he'll like it.
And when we first told our oldest, she had a lot of questions at first, but she was really excited about it. And then a little bit later, we told her our news that we were expecting. And I can still remember her reaction to that. She looked at me and she said, "Mom, you mean we're adopting and we're gonna have a baby? We're gonna have 5 kids in our family." And so she's just so excited about it. She can't wait.
And as far as the other two, I don't know that they fully comprehend exactly what's going on, but they love talking about their little brother from Africa, and I think that they're gonna be great big sisters.
Well, I think that everyone needs and deserves a chance to be loved.
I think it's important because it's basically what God calls us to do. I mean, to put the fatherless into a family. That's what He's done with us. And we just feel like there's a lot of babies out there that need families. And if you can provide that for them, it's an amazing thing.
I think it speaks a lot to the fact that there's a grander plan. Just as He planned each of our biological children, He sewed Kai into our story also. I don't think that we can even wrap our heads around what it will be like to bring Kai home.
God, there's a baby out there, but how is that going to fit in our family? How is that going to work? And Jeremiah 1:5 says that before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And I got this image in my mind of a baby in Africa that I don't even believe is probably born yet. But, God already knows. He's like, I already know him. And I'm going to form him. And when I see him, I see that he needs a mama. And I see that he needs a daddy who's going to teach him what it means to be a man and have fun. And for whatever reason, I think this little boy needs a whole slew of sisters. And we have that. And, but I just need him to say yes. And I could not say no to that. I mean, that to me was, I couldn't say no to that. What a privilege that he would even think to choose us to get to be a part of that story. It's amazing to me. So I think that was really the moment when I just completely let go and said, yeah, we have to do this. We have to.